You are listening to A Scary State, and this week we're talking about Lauren's birthday. So, Lauren.
Yes, Kenzie?
Let's get scary!
I'm back.
Hold on.
For one episode.
Yeah, don't get too excited.
Because it's my birthday, so I couldn't miss my birthday.
No, of course not. I didn't want you to miss your birthday.
And I mean, this is a nice little break.
Yeah, and you're just being, well, you do have to read a little bit, but for the most part, you're being read to.
I know, and I get to listen to a story, and I'm so excited.
And I don't have to tell you what to do.
I know. I'm a pro with this.
Exactly. And it's like natural conversation. That's what I try to tell people. I'm like, we're just talking with a thing in front of our face.
Well, see, that's what freaks people out. They're like, well, now it's like legit.
Yeah.
And you can't just be a normal talking person.
No, they can't. It's funny. No, but I've appreciated all of my guests. But I have missed you.
I've missed you too.
You know, it's just not the same.
It's not.
It doesn't have that same razzle dazzle.
The razzle dazzle is only we can do.
How you doing, Mom?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. It's tiring.
Yeah.
It's been good.
It's so cute.
I mean, delivery was great.
Yep.
Birth was great. You know, all that stuff was great. And then we've just
Then you got home.
And then we got home. And trying to figure out a newborn is a lot.
Yeah, they're
A
so
lot.
new.
I know, they're so new. They know nothing and we know nothing.
You learning together.
The sleep deprivation is so real.
Yeah.
I have never been this tired.
Yeah.
And
even
Joe,
like when you were pregnant?
Yes. Because everyone would be like, oh, pregnancy tired and newborn tired are two different tired. And some people were like, pregnancy tired is so much better or so much like worse. Like, you know, once it's newborn, it's great. No, it's not.
They both suck.
They both suck.
Sure.
Like the pregnancy tired, no matter how much you sleep, you don't ever feel rested. But with the newborn tired, you don't sleep.
Therefore, you're not rested.
And like sometimes like if I do take a nap when Joe's watching the baby or whatever, my eyes close the moment my head hits the pillow.
Yeah.
There's no like falling asleep. Like I am sleeping.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I've taken the least amount of showers I've ever taken. That's the only time that Joe and I get to ourselves is when we're in the showers. Like if I shower, that's my own like 30 minutes where no one else is bothering me.
Yeah. Your little sanctuary.
Only alone time.
Alone. Not even alone with each other.
No. We haven't had any alone time, me and him.
Oh, that's so funny. But you guys are great.
Thank you.
Having been a witness.
Oh, thank you.
It's, you know, although I did get him to fall asleep. Just saying. But yeah, it's a little chilly down here.
It is chilly down here.
Yeah.
Which is why he should not be down here.
Yeah. You need a hat.
Oh, he has a lot of hats.
We need a little hat for his head.
I mean, but we have a typical townhouse. You know, the basement is freezing.
Yep.
The top floor is hot.
Yes.
And the middle floor is, you know, chill. Nice.
Well,
it was a little chilly.
If you're actively bouncing a baby.
Oh, yeah, it gets a little hot.
It gets a little hot. So.
Because he's a big 9-pound baby. He wasn't born 9 pounds.
No, he wasn't.
But now he is 9 pounds.
He was tinier.
Yeah.
So, well, yay.
Yay.
Let's talk about your birthday.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
You know how we do it. You will have to guess. I feel like you're going to be able to guess.
Okay, I'm just going to give myself a little, like, caveat here. If I'm wrong, we're just going to blame it on the sleep deprivation.
No one's been right.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say I haven't been able to listen to the episodes because I haven't been able to do much of anything except watch a baby.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, I will get into it.
I'm being so neglected.
I know. I'm so sorry. My mom's listened to all of them, so she says they all sound great.
Wonderful.
Okay, so no one's gotten it right.
Except, like, there was a couple of times you did.
Well, yeah, I got 2 of them.
And then that's been it. Yeah, no one's got them right.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
It's like that one teacher who you read about their reviews and it's like, the tests are so hard.
Yeah, they're not. People just don't know history.
Well, see, I feel like that's your specialty. It is not my specialty.
All right. I think with this one, you're going to be able to get it. If you don't, I'll explain why I thought you would.
Okay.
And then if you do, it's probably for the reason that I think that you will get it right.
Well, speaking of, okay, so last night we had a friend over and we were talking about AP. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why.
AP?
We watched Good Will Hunting.
Oh, great
I
movie.
fell asleep halfway through, but that's not the point of
That's
this.
okay though, but it's still a beautiful movie.
Yes. So we started talking about AP classes.
Oh, AP classes. Okay.
Yes. And so I can't remember if I took did I take an AP history class?
No.
Okay, I did pre-AP, but there was some history class. It must have been the pre-AP test. I don't know. All I know is on one of those AP tests, I got a 1, and it was a history one.
Yeah. Did you do AP World History sophomore year?
Maybe. I don't know what I did. I just know when I took the AP test for that, it was like a 1,
Yeah.
which is for people who haven't taken AP tests or don't know it, that's the worst you can get.
Yeah. I
I did fine on lit. I did fine on psych.
Nope.
Not so much on history.
I think I got 2 across the board.
I got a 4 in lit and I got a 5 in psych.
So really, I was like, well, this has been a waste of my time because I can't even use these for college credit.
I just took these really, really hard classes
Right,
and nothing can be done about
It would
them.
have been better had I just taken the normal people ones.
Yeah.
I'm not an AP person. I was like, I like
Yeah.
to read. Well, people finally started telling me I was smart and wanted me to be in honors English. And I was like, hell yeah, that's a first.
Oh, look at you.
And then I got there and I was like, I don't want to be here. I I don't know. We had much more fun.
I bet. I just know, yeah, ours was confusing, and one of them, we had, a poem that we had to analyze. I don't know. It was about a frog and a shopping cart and a pool. Those are the only things I remember. Anywho, we brought it to our teacher afterwards, and we're like, "Can you explain this poem to us?" And he goes, "I literally have no idea what this means."
Yeah, it's crazy convoluted shit.
Right, and we're like, "Okay, our teacher can't even explain it, so
Yeah.
why was it on this exam?"
Right. And it's subjective.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, it was kinda stupid.
yeah.
Ugh, okay. Facts. All right. Story 1.
Yeah.
On March 2nd, 1692, Bridget Bishop became the first person formally accused of witchcraft in Salem Village, Massachusetts. Her arrest marked the official beginning of what would become one of the most infamous mass hysteria events in American history. Over the next several months, more than 200 people would be accused, and 20 would ultimately be executed. The accusations began after a group of young girls claimed to be afflicted by unseen forces. Fear spread quickly through the Puritan community. By the time the trials ended in 1693, families had been torn apart, reputations destroyed, and an entire village left grappling with shame and regret. Okay, with this one,
Mm-hmm.
I know these things happened.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying, overall, the whole thing will be true, correct? I don't have to know, on March 2nd, this is when it happened?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this one's true.
Okay.
Because we know Salem witch trials. We
Yep.
covered it.
Absolutely.
All right. Number 2. The Great Morristown Train Wreck. In the early hours of March 2nd, 1918, a crowded passenger train traveling through Morristown, New Jersey derailed after a section of track gave way under heavy winter conditions. Several cars overturned, trapping passengers inside twisted metal. Rescue crews worked through the night in freezing temperatures, pulling survivors from the wreckage by lantern light. More than 24 people were killed and many others were seriously injured. Investigators later concluded that weakened rails and poor maintenance contributed to the disaster. The tragedy led to stricter railway inspection standards in the region. This sounds legit.
Okay.
This could be a true thing because on March 2nd, when I was born during a blizzard. So
that means everyone has bad luck on March 2nd.
No, I'm saying that we still get snow in this area in March.
Yes.
That's what I was
Not
saying.
anymore, but yes.
Yes, but at the time, and in 1918, very well could have been.
Oh, absolutely. Sure.
Okay. Story 3. The bombing of the U.S. Capitol by Puerto Rican nationalists. On March 2nd, 1954, 4 Puerto Rican nationalists opened fire from the visitors' gallery of the U.S. House of Representatives chamber in Washington, D.C. The group, led by Lolita LeBron, unfurled a Puerto Rican flag and shouted for independence before firing multiple shots onto the House floor. 5 members of Congress were wounded but survived. The attackers were arrested immediately and later sentenced to lengthy prison terms. The event shocked the nation and remains one of the most dramatic acts of political violence to take place inside the Capitol building.
I beg to differ.
I was just gonna say, is this one the lie? Because this is not the worst one.
I mean, they all come from ChatGPT. I was about to say, well, they didn't. Maybe they mean at the time.
It would mean at the time because since then.
And it says one of.
Okay, there we go.
So it's up there.
Alrighty. So it's between story 2 and 3.
Okay. Talk me through it. What are you thinking?
I haven't heard of the third story before.
Okay.
Which now
Have you
I'm
heard
probably
of the second one?
no.
Okay.
But But I feel like I'd be more likely to hear about a bombing of the US Capitol rather than a train wreck.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say 3 is the lie.
No.
Damn it! 2?
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
I also have never heard of the bombing, but the reason, cause so like it'll write it out and I guess first.
Right.
And I just like to say that I've been getting it right. um, and when I was looking at it, at first I was gonna say that one because I was like, well, I've never heard of it.
Right.
But then it had someone's name.
Right. See, the name threw me off because I was like, okay, that sounds like a legit person.
Right. Like it was, and typically the ones that are a lie, it's just general enough.
Ah. So like the Great Morristown train wreck.
Right.
Mm,
Like there's no names mentioned. And like even in the first one, Bridget Bishop.
right.
So like,
Ugh. All right. All right. That's gonna help me in the future.
oh, good. I'm glad.
Well,
I'm
I
happy to share strategies.
can join everyone else who hasn't been getting these right.
That's okay.
Man. Well,
People are learning
interesting.
things along the way.
I really didn't know that about the third story, though.
I didn't either.
Hmm.
Oh my God, what if it's not a real story?
Then I would have been right.
Where to? Oops. Because I definitely don't remember learning about that in history.
No.
Doesn't mean we didn't.
History is portrayed a certain way in schools.
Yes. They tried to tell us that Puerto Rico was so happy.
Yeah. Did it happen?
So it did happen.
But not on March 2nd.
Not on March 2nd.
I didn't think it would have happened on March 2nd.
And
because I feel like
these
not a
names
lot of
are
things
different
happened on
than
my...
the one that they gave us.
Okay, so I'm kind of right.
You are kind of right.
Thank
Oh,
you.
wait. 1954 United States. Okay. So hold on.
So it happened in 1954?
Yes, there was a shooting. I said bombing. That's why.
Okay, yeah.
It happened March 1st.
Okay, so today that we're recording.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a half point for this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, everything else is right.
Well, I get a half point for it.
Okay.
Because I think, okay, yeah, I'm just going to say it's the bombing. The word bombing is what really threw me off. I was like...
Which is fair because it was technically a shooting. So I can see how that's confusing.
Exactly.
Because they didn't bomb anybody.
Yeah.
So I get that. But you still did good.
Thank you.
Just drop it. Yeah.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah. See, and now, because it's just me, I just go straight into it. I've just had one big chunk.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So, although this technically is the longest state facts pre me telling my story because it was 13 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, because we chatted. I mean, we got all of our other chatting in when you first got here.
Well, right.
And the voice memos you've been sending me.
Yes. Some are podcast friendly stories and some are not.
You should tell people that your car...
No, I don't need to.
Her car got towed from the spot that we thought was the magical parking lot.
I'm
So
so mad.
there were no aliens watching over you. No
But of course, they're not
higher-ups.
going to believe me when I was like, well, you towed it before and then put it back.
They're going to think you're crazy.
She was like, no, we didn't. I was like, I mean, I don't expect you to believe me, but yes,
Wait,
you
did you tell someone that?
Yeah, when I called the towing company.
Oh!
I lost my shit. I said, so are you going to return my car that you stole? I
Mackenzie.
get hot with attitude.
Mackenzie.
And I was like, that's crazy because you towed it once and then put it back. No, we didn't. Okay. I don't expect you to believe me. Sad for me, I don't have proof. But yes, you did.
You have all the people who listen to the podcast believe you.
Thank
You should play the first part of our episode.
Yeah.
Be like, look, it happened.
Exactly.
It's documented.
I even emailed the leasing office and I was like, what the heck?
That sucks.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think you need a new license plate.
I need a new license plate.
Because they know it's you.
Because when I was texting my coworker about it, he was like, damn, I do it all the time. And there was 3 other cars in that lot that didn't have passes.
You know they're at the point where they are looking for you purposely to tow you.
And I said to her, I was like, that's hilarious because I see multiple cars in this parking lot right now that don't have passes. So I don't understand. Well, we've towed lots of cars today. I'm like, I'm sure you have. And then I hung up the phone and then I get there and I ask her how much it is. And she says $210. And I was like, why? And she was like, I told you on the phone it was $210. I was like, no, you didn't tell me anything on the phone. Why is it $210? Because I want to be like, because I hung up on you before you could.
Was it like holiday prices, even though there were no
Weekend,
holidays?
apparently.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah. I was not the only one that had gotten their car towed. And when I was leaving, there was a guy trying to get, I'm assuming, his car back. And I don't know what he said, but the lady was not happy because I could hear her yelling.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, fuck A1 towing.
Yeah. Towing just sucks. I got towed once when I was in a parking lot that didn't have a sign. And
Yeah.
they towed me, and I said, "You don't have a sign there. How am I supposed to know?" And they're like, "You should just know you can't park there." I said, "How am I supposed to know I
Yeah.
can't park there if there's no sign?"
There's a sign on the section of the parking lot that has clearly reserved spots,
Mhm.
but there's no other signage.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah, I took a picture of that one sign, and I said, "This rusty-ass sign that no one can read, that's the sign that's telling me I can't park here?"
yeah,
And they're like, "Yeah," and I said, "That's bullshit."
it is.
Oh, I was so mad.
So,
I
yeah.
looked pretty pathetic, though, because I had been at my boyfriend's house who was gross. Anywho, so he had driven me to the towing place to, like, get my car.
Yeah.
Because I was joking about it as we were driving to the parking lot. I was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if my car was towed?" And my car was towed, and I started crying. So
I mean, yeah, it's frustrating.
yeah.
And, like, the other times that I got towed, I was like, "Okay, that's on me. I'm frustrated with myself. I, forgot to put a parking pass in or forgot to move it or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, that's my bad. I get that." But you can tell when it starts to be targeted because you'll walk out and I'm like, "Look at all these other fucking cars."
Yeah.
And you took mine. 8:15. I walked out there once, car was fine. I was like, "Good." 8:10, gone.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm like, "You're not even fucking consistent."
But yeah, you just have to look really pathetic because when I had my car towed and we went to the place, I walk in with like my pillow and my overnight bag and I walk in all sad looking and they dropped it down from like 2 something to 100.
I probably could have done that if this wasn't my, like, 8 millionth time
They
being
know
towed.
you, so you can't do
Yeah.
it.
So, but yeah, I need to change my license plate.
I think so.
It's the end of an era.
Oh,
Really, the only reason I've kept it was because it's easy.
yeah, and I know it's your car too.
Right. Easy to spot,
But you also have all the stickers on your car.
but I back in.
They can still see
It's not if they
stickers.
in that parking lot, they would have to come into the lot to see behind my car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Other than
Yeah.
that, it just looks like a regular Ford Escape.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm. Let's see. Well, what spooky frenzy you getting us into, Kenzie?
music to my ears.
I know.
So I am very excited for this birthday episode because I have included all of Lauren's favorite things.
Oh my God. Yeah, Mackenzie wouldn't tell me what the topic was.
So we have a story involving like a weird triangle thingy,
Okay.
like a Bermuda Triangle, but
Love it.
not Bermuda.
Right.
A ghost ship story,
Beautiful.
and then we finish it up with a disappearance.
Ugh. Music to my ears. All
Yes.
right. I'm going to settle in, get it all cozy.
Please do. All right. First up, the Bass. I think it's Bass. It may be Bass, but I never know.
Right. Yeah.
But it's BASS Strait Triangle.
It could be either one.
The way I've been reading it is Bass.
Okay. So go for
So
Bass.
I'm going to go with Bass. If it's wrong, whatever. Stupid homophones. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Right. It's not our fault.
So the Bass Strait Triangle is a waterway that separates the Australian states of Victoria and Tasmania.
Ooh.
It is a shallow stretch of water with an average depth of about 160 feet.
I like how that's shallow.
I guess comparatively.
Yeah.
The strait is 190 miles wide and 120 miles long. The waterway is primarily used by cargo ships to get to the ports of Melbourne, Stanley, Burnie, Devonport, Bell Bay, and Launceston? Lanston?
Yes.
Yes. The Bass Strait also has many islands, such as King Island and Flinders Island. Most air traffic between Tasmania and the Australian mainland have to fly over at least part or adjacent to the strait.
Okay.
Hundreds of vessels from small yachts and fishing craft to the large cargo carriers have been brought down in the strait from hitting reefs, running aground on the coastline or on river bars while entering port, and some even fall victim to the weather in the area. Dozens have been lost without a trace. The term Bass Strait Triangle, it just seems wrong, but Bass Strait Triangle?
I like Bass Strait. I think that sounds better.
Bass sounds better.
And I
too.
mean, bass too could be like fish.
Well, that's kind of
so
what I was
related to
thinking.
water. Yeah.
I don't know where bass normally are.
In water.
Thank you. The term Bass Strait Triangle seemed to pop up around 1978 with the disappearance of there's so many words here that I'm like, it could go both ways. Frederick, it's either
Fledwick.
Fredwick. Frederick. It's either Valentic or Valentish.
Whatever your heart's telling you.
Okay.
I
However,
mean, if you don't say these things, then people won't know.
well, it's funny because his name is included many a times because I tell a story about him.
So just confidence with the name you choose.
I've been doing Valentic when I've been reading it, but now that I say it out loud, it doesn't sound right. Valentish? I don't know.
Whatever you want to say.
And I didn't think to look at a video beforehand.
That's okay.
Whatever. But the region had a bad reputation before that.
Okay.
So in 1858, the British warship HMS Sappho disappeared, with well over 100 lives lost and no positively identifiable wreckage located. In 1909, the SS Federal disappeared carrying coal from New South Wales with 31 crew members. Her wreck was not located until 2019.
Jeez. And when did it go missing?
1901.
Wow.
Yeah. During World War II, several aircrafts, mostly Royal Australian Air Force Bristol Beaufort bombers, say that 5 times fast, were lost during exercises in the Bass Strait. In 1972, a small aircraft flown by Brenda Heen and Max Price disappeared on flight from Tasmania to Canberra as part of the protests against the flooding of Lake Pedder. Peter? Pedder. Pedder. Yeah, Ped. Lake, I mean, unless Australia has different rules. Lake Pedder was a natural glacial lake in southwest Tasmania, Australia. It was famous for its bright pink quartzite beach and remote wilderness setting. In the late 1960s, the Hydroelectric Commission, or HEC, proposed a hydroelectric scheme to generate power. That's what they called it on Wikipedia. Okay. I don't know why specifically it's a scheme.
No.
Because that sounds sketchy.
It does.
I feel like project might be better. Because it's not like it was
Australia, different words.
Right. True. The plan to build a dam would flood Lake Pedder to merge with 2 lakes to create a much larger artificial reservoir. The Tasmanian government approved the project because of the need for economic development. It would create jobs and the need for more electricity to power the state. The ecosystem existed. Nope, that's my bad. The opposition was largely environmental. Protesters argued that Lake Pedder's pink beach and ecosystem existed nowhere else in the world. This was one of Australia's first major environmental battles. People feared that if this lake could be flooded, no wilderness area was safe. Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Many Australians felt the decision was rushed and ignored public opposition. Heen and Price's plane crashed at sea somewhere between the East Coast and Flinders Island. Some speculate the aircraft was sabotaged by pro-development interests, but there's never been any proof to substantiate that claim. So probably the most infamous story that comes from the Bass Strait Triangle was the disappearance of Frederick Valentish.
You could just call him Frederick.
You just call him Fred. Fledwick. Whatever. I'll just, whatever speaks to me as I'm reading, I'll say. It might be Tick, it might be Tish.
Might be different each time, yeah.
Frederick Valentic. See, that also just doesn't sound good. This guy just doesn't. Frederick V.
Yeah, there we go.
Had about 150 total hours of flying time and held a Class 4 instrument rating, which authorized him to fly at night, but only in, quote, visual meteorological.
Yeah, meteorological.
Yeah, conditions.
150 hours doesn't sound like a lot.
He had twice applied to enlist in the Royal Australian Air Force, or RAF.
Oh.
But had been rejected because of inadequate educational qualifications.
Oh.
He was also trying to get his commercial pilot, whatever, and he wouldn't do too hot in that either.
What, he couldn't pass tests or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, not off to a great start.
Yeah, not a guy you want to be flying with.
No. The destination of Valentish's Fred's final flight was King Island, but no one was sure why he wanted to fly to the island in the first place. He told flight officials that he was going to pick up some friends, but friends said that he was going to pick up some crawfish. I don't care if you say crayfish.
So many random things.
It was later determined that neither of those things were true. I think he was kind of a weird guy.
I mean, I'm going to this island to pick up crayfish.
Yeah. Well, you'll see.
Maybe the crayfish were his friends.
Crawfish.
Crayfish.
Crawfish. Crawfish.
Crayfish.
October 21st, 1978 at 7:06 p.m., Valentish radioed Melbourne flight service with growing concern. He said it's with the Frederick that it sounds weird. Okay. That's what it is. He said there was another aircraft flying above him at about 4,500 feet.
Ew, I don't like that.
The operator checked radar and air traffic reports, and there was nothing else showing to be in that airspace.
Ew, that's actually really creepy.
But Valentish insisted he could see it. He described a large object lit up by 4 bright lights, almost like landing lights, though he couldn't identify the type.
So they're almost like alien lights.
At one point, he said it passed roughly 1,000 feet over his plane and was moving fast. Then things got stranger. He reported that the object was approaching him from the east and suggested that the other pilot might be deliberately playing games with him. He said it was orbiting overhead and circling him. He described a shiny metallic surface and a green light glowing on it. Around the same time, he mentioned that his engine was starting to run rough. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
Nope.
When the operator asked him to confirm what kind of aircraft he was seeing, Valentish responded with a chilling line, quote, "It's not an aircraft."
Ew.
Seconds later, his transmission was cut off by a series of unexplained metallic scraping sounds, then silence. All contact was lost.
Ew.
Pretty good triangle, right?
Yeah.
Officials searched the area for about 4 days before closing off the search. The Department of Transportation officials speculated that, quote, Valentish became disoriented and saw his own lights reflected in the water or lights from a nearby island while flying upside down.
I feel like it's not super easy to fly upside down.
No.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, some of the explanations later, you're like, okay, maybe.
Okay.
But that completely out of context doesn't really make sense.
Right, not at all.
Some believe it was staged because of reports to police of a light aircraft making a mysterious landing not far from Cape Otway at the same time of Valentish's disappearance. Others believe Valentish had died by suicide, but interviews with doctors and coworkers who knew him said otherwise, and the claim was mostly eliminated as a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
According to Brian Dunning, who hosts the weekly podcast Skeptoid, Valentish's radio conversation was similar to the dialogue from the scene in the film Close Encounters of the Third
There's still
Kind.
the fourth kind is the movie.
Yeah, but no one knows about it.
People did. People said they did.
I think it was like one person.
Okay, thank you. That one person. For validating me.
So this movie was released less than a year before the disappearance and was popular among pilots, young people, and UFO fans.
Ah.
And he was a UFO fan.
Ah.
Yeah. Dunning speculated that it is possible that Valentish was trying to imitate the scene for fun and deliberately made his aircraft fly in a circular pattern in order to, quote, give the radar guys something to see, but accidentally became disoriented and crashed into the water.
I mean, it sounds like that could be a valid explanation.
Given how odd this guy is, yeah.
But I still do like the thought that, like, he really loved UFOs and then his dream came true and he got abducted by aliens.
So lastly, our favorite theory,
Aliens.
UFOologists have claimed that a UFO either destroyed Valentish's aircraft or abducted him, saying that some individuals reported seeing, quote, an erratically moving green light in the sky, and that he was, quote, in a steep dive at the time.
Oh.
UFOologists believe these accounts are significant because of the green light mentioned in Valentish's radio transmission. Also, there's been a recent, like, a plane probably crashed, but it's like gone, like they can't find it.
Oh.
And
recently?
Yeah, like in like last 6 months, like last August.
Oh.
It was this couple who was flying and they had their doggy with them.
Oh.
And they disappeared, and it took them a while to even figure out who was on the plane, but they haven't been able to find anything.
Where did it disappear?
In this
triangle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, creepy.
Right? Some say it's bad weather conditions or rough seas that cause these disappearances. Or maybe there's something more paranormal occurring in this 120-mile waterway. Who is to say?
Ooh, you know we love the more supernatural explanations.
Yes. Well, baby is sad.
I know, baby's crying upstairs.
He's in good hands.
That's why baby wasn't going to be down here.
No. Not. He'll have his debut later.
He will.
Okay, the next one. The ghost ship.
Yes.
So the MV Joyita was I know, right? At first I was like, it's either Joyita or it's Joyita. And I read it as Joyita, and then I was confirmed that it was a Spanish word. So I was like,
beautiful.
Go me. Was a 69-foot wooden ship designed as a luxury yacht for a Hollywood director. She made her first voyage in 1931 in Los Angeles. Her name, Joyita, means little jewel in Spanish.
Cute.
I believe MV stands for marine vessel, but it might also be merchant vessel.
Either one. I think they both mean the same thing.
Yeah. During World War II, the U.S. Navy used the ship as a patrol boat, designated as a YP-108. This just means that it was a yard patrol boat.
Oh, okay.
Joyita performed well under duress during wartime operations, which spoke to her durability. The MV Joyita was virtually unsinkable. Her hull was lined with cork, which boosted her buoyancy.
I mean, they said that about the Titanic, so...
Yeah, but like different technology.
Okay.
So, which you'll see, they're not like wrong. Like it really is difficult to sink, and you'll see in a second.
Okay.
In 1952, the Joyita was purchased by a university professor who chartered her to a British-born sailor, Captain Thomas Dusty Miller. Captain Miller lived in Samoa and used the ship as a trading and charter vessel.
Okay.
On the morning of October 3rd, 1955, the MV Joyita set out for the city of Apia on Upolu Island in Samoa. It was headed to the Tokalo Islands with medical supplies, empty oil drums, food, and other cargo.
Oh, I've heard of the Tokalo Islands.
But you haven't heard this, right?
No.
Okay, cool. She was carrying 25 people, including 16 crew members and 9 passengers. Among the passengers was a government official, a doctor, 2 children, and various local workers. Their journey was about 270 nautical miles and was expected to take no more than 48 hours. Sadly, the MV Joyita never arrived. Initially, authorities suspected the delay was due to mechanical issues because there hadn't been any distress signal.
Mm-hmm.
When the vessel still had not arrived by October 6th, alarms were raised and an extensive search and rescue operation was launched. The search covered over 100,000 square miles of the Pacific Ocean. It appeared that the MV Joyita had vanished off the face of the earth. It would be 5 more weeks before a merchant vessel, that's why I think maybe MV is merchant.
That makes sense, yeah.
Named Tuvalu.
Oh, that's cute.
I hope that's how you pronounce it because it's so cute.
Well, I like it.
Yeah. Spotted the MV Joyita partially submerged. The ship was drifting over 600 miles off course near the Fijian island of Vanuatu. She was heavily flooded and her decks awash. Despite all of this, the ship was surprisingly afloat. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, sorry, had to feed the baby.
Don't apologize for mom duties. Ever.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how far back to go.
Well, I just got a couple sentences.
Did you hear the island that she was off of?
Start there. That sounds great.
Okay, cool. The ship was drifting 600 miles off course near the Fijian island of Vanuatu. I don't know if that's right, but I like it. She was heavily flooded and her decks awash. Despite all of this, the ship was surprisingly afloat. But even more surprising, the MV Joyita was completely deserted. There were no signs of passengers or crew and no signs of where they had gone.
And how many miles offshore? 600?
Off
feet?
course?
Oh, of course. How far off, like, from an island was it?
I don't think it was that far off of the shore. It was just 600 miles off course.
Like, close enough that the shore or the crew could have gotten from the boat on shore.
I don't know. Well, they're not sure because that's where it was found.
Right.
That doesn't mean that's where it was deserted.
Right.
So, like, it had floated.
Okay.
So, ideally, they're thinking that it floated that way.
Right.
Or, yeah.
Okay.
We'll get into it. If you hear any hiccups.
I all of a sudden got hiccups and they won't go away.
As the investigation continued, more unexplainable factors came to light. The ship's auxiliary radio was tuned to the international distress frequency. Was the ship trying to send a distress signal? It was discovered that the radio was inoperative due to the faulty wiring and limited range, so they might have been asking for help. It just never got to anybody.
Or do you think they were listening to it and heard someone who needed help and were making their way there and then something happened?
There's no way to know.
Fun.
They don't mention anything about that.
Right.
And what's interesting, well, something to keep in mind is it took them 5 weeks to find her.
Jeez.
So she clearly wasn't off the coast of that island.
Right.
Because they searched 100,000 square miles. Like,
that's insane.
It's weird that they didn't see her.
Yeah.
Especially because she's partially afloat. Like, she's not sunk to the bottom.
Right.
So that part's always weird. There were many items missing from the ship. The logbook and other navigational equipment were missing along with the life rafts and mm, along with the life rafts. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
And the firearms that belonged to the captain. This confirmed people's theories that there had been some sort of evacuation.
That's what I would think.
Also missing the majority of the cargo.
Okay.
This was deemed unusual, though, because of the flimsy rife rafts.
White flaps.
Life rafts would not have been able to stay afloat with the cargo. It was either people or, yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, if they tried to bring it, they would have sunk into the water.
Right. I wonder if maybe the ship was starting to sink a little bit, and so they threw cargo off to lighten the ship,
Oh, that's a good theory.
potentially.
No one mentioned that.
Oh.
There you go. Okay. Here's what else they found. There were no obvious signs of a struggle. However, the doctor's bag was found open on a table and contained bloody bandages.
Ew.
This suggested that someone aboard had been injured and required medical attention. The amount of bloody bandages did not seem to indicate that the person had died.
Okay.
The only damage to the ship was the blige pumps, which had been disassembled and the engine room flooded up to the floorboards.
Okay, sea flooding.
Yes. So it was definitely that it does play into it that like it was starting to sink. That's why they left. But no one mentions the whole like that's why there's no cargo was because maybe they threw it to lighten the load.
Yeah.
Like no one puts that in there.
Oh, interesting. Look at us. We really need to be put on these cases.
I know. You're so smart.
Oh, thank you.
Such a pro with these ghost ships. Which come to tell you, I learned something new.
Hmm.
I thought ghost ships were like ghost ships.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've talked about those.
Oh, I have. Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that a ghost ship is one that's completely deserted.
Yep. That has no people on it.
And I was like, wow, this just became so much easier to find.
I have a good book you could read.
Mm.
I know you don't have a ton of time to read, but it's The Devil in the Dark Water. And it's about a ship like this. And there's like a bad person on board. It's like an old timey. Oh my God. It's so good.
Okay.
I have it upstairs. I'll loan it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep it forever like the other book you loaned to me.
I know. But every time you look at it, you'll be like, oh, Lauren gave me that book.
I need to get back into reading. Truly, I realized the only reason why I struggle with reading again is because then it's quiet.
What if you played music in the background?
And I've done that, but like
Or what if you put on How It's Made in the background and just turn the volume down a little bit?
I've done that. It's just, and it works for the most part, but like it still will, every once in a while, my ear will go that way versus like when it's just,
You need a candle that does the crackling noise.
oh yeah.
That's how I like to read. I light all my candles, and you can get the wicks that like make the little noise.
I didn't mind silence when someone else was in the apartment.
I get that.
You know,
I do
like,
get
that's
that.
what the problem is.
White noise. Love me some white noise.
Yeah.
Grayson sleeps with white noise, and it's amazing because then I get my white noise.
I showed my dad a picture that you had sent me, or maybe it wasn't my dad. I showed somebody, and they were like, "Is that a red light?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's got her kid in a freaking terrarium."
The red light is because it doesn't disturb newborn sleep,
and
it gives us a light.
I know, but it's funny.
It's kind of creepy though when you're in like the nursery and it's dark and you just see the red light beaming from the room. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, it looks like you have a reptile for a
It
child.
does.
Don't worry, it's not. He's not.
Yeah, he's not a reptile.
The structure of the ship was in relatively good shape, and her hull was still intact. The question on everyone's mind was what could have possibly caused the ship to be deserted. So they know what happened,
Right.
but they
That
don't.
it was deserted.
Right, and they know why, because these pipe thingies broke or whatever, malfunctioned and flooded. And so to them, it probably did like seem like they were sinking.
Right.
But had they just stayed, they would not have sunk all the way.
Right.
Now, maybe to your point, offloading the cargo is maybe why it's still partially afloat.
Could be, yeah.
I don't know. We're going to get into the theories.
Okay.
There are 5 main theories about what may have happened to the MV Joyita. The first and most believed theory is that the crew and passengers evacuated after Joyita began taking on water.
Right.
People may have feared that she was going to sink and escaped using the life rafts, but this theory was questioned by those who knew Captain Miller. He had told colleagues that he would never leave her as she was unsinkable. Some postulated, I like that word,
I do. This is a big word.
that Captain Miller might have been injured in some way and was not in a position to protest, looking at the bloody bandages as evidence toward their theory. Jumping off of that, theory 2 revolves around a possible mutiny or violent conflict among those on board.
Everyone loves a mutiny.
Yeah. Captain Miller was known to be a strict disciplinarian. The bandages and the missing weapons maybe suggested confrontation, but there's no concrete evidence to support this.
Okay.
So if they were taking on water, many people believe if they deserted it, it was because he couldn't say otherwise.
Okay.
Like, that's truly believed by everybody.
Okay.
And or there was a mutiny, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they always believe there's a mutiny. Whenever there's a boat that's found without people on it, they're like, mutiny.
I mean, it's a plausible.
And it was like a thing at the time.
Yeah. Well, not this time.
Well, I feel like there was always a time when mutinies were a thing.
True.
Yeah.
There's still pirates, I guess.
Yeah.
Far less mutinies. So some people try to say that the Joyita encountered pirates or
Mhm.
hostile forces. This was, beginning of the Cold War.
Mm.
However, there was no evidence of a struggle and no bullet holes found anywhere in or around the ship. Another possibility is a sudden and catastrophic event, such as a severe storm or a crazy rogue wave. However, weather reports didn't indicate such conditions, and the sturdy construction of the Joyita would have withstood typical Pacific storms.
And it also didn't look like it had been battered in a storm, right?
I don't think so. No, because most of its structure was it was just kind of partially underwater.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And finally, we have our favorite theory, aliens.
Aliens.
Some have called the Joyita the Marie Celeste of the South Pacific
Oh.
and attribute the disappearance to unexplained supernatural forces. In the end, the inquiry concluded that, based on the evidence presented, the fate of those aboard was inexplicable.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's explicable.
Uh-huh.
Leaving the mystery of the Joyita unsolved.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
That would be literally so creepy, though. Like, just picture it. You're like out on a boat or whatever, you're just chilling, and then you see another huge boat that has literally no one on board.
So, in one of the Ballin episodes from these last couple of weeks, one of the stories he tells is of like a ship exploring the northern Arctic, and they
Oh.
get stuck,
I feel like that always happens.
and then they see this other ship
Mm-hmm.
with other people on it, and it, detail this, detail that. Eventually, they get onto the ship and realize that everyone's frozen to death,
Ew.
and so
Who are they seeing? Kind of
yeah.
thing.
Or who were
See,
they talking? I think they might have been talking to people.
I am so behind on listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
So when I get to that, that'll be exciting.
Yeah. Um, it's a good thing I don't remember the details, so I can't ruin it for you. Okay.
I feel like you gave away the big plot at the end. They were all frozen.
Well, yeah, but the way he yes, but I don't remember the creepy part.
Yeah.
Besides them figuring that out.
Okay. Well, I'll listen to it probably in like 4 to 6 business weeks.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so this last one, I debated on doing it first because it's just kind of sad.
Oh.
But, it's the peak best story. You say the best one for last.
Right.
So it's going to be last.
Okay. Just end us on a down note.
Yeah, well, it's your fault you like disappearances.
They're just so fascinating.
They don't exactly always end up.
No, they're not happy. They're not happy
No.
stories. I have never covered a disappearance where at the end we were like, that was a feel-good story.
Yeah. So, I mean, this one is not the result we wanted, but there's parts of it that you're like, okay, I'm glad that happened.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right.
All right. Coming in hot right from the beginning. In the span of about 2.5 hours, American lives were forever changed because of the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001.
Where were you when this happened?
In school.
Yeah. Do you remember it?
All I remember is looking around and seeing everyone get picked up, and I was getting pissed that I wasn't getting picked up. I didn't know why everyone was getting picked up, though.
Did you end up getting picked up?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's literally all I remember.
I do remember that they always said, though, like, school is one of the safest places your kids can be.
Yeah, and I remember there was, like, hardly anybody in there.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I got picked up, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a very vague
I was picked up.
Very vague memory. That's not surprising.
No, not at all.
My dad every time was like, "Well, it was your mother's turn to have you." I was like, "I feel like turns don't matter in this situation."
We had family who worked in DC,
Yeah.
so my family was like, "We're getting everyone together to be in one house."
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. It gives me goosebumps when people who were older and therefore have more memories of things
Mhm.
talk about it, because it's like it's so different, because obviously we've heard, you know, stories of survivors and, all this stuff for many historical
Yeah.
catastrophic events. But I feel like because we were alive
Yeah.
when this happened,
It's different.
even if we don't have exact memories of it, it's such an ingrained part of us
Yeah.
growing up that, like, hearing other people talk about it is so much more emotional than, like,
Yes.
someone talking about something that happened in, like, the '80s or
Yes,
something.
100% agree.
So,
I was talking to one of my coworkers, he's slightly older than me, but I didn't realize how much older. It's only, like, a couple years, but I was like we were talking about 9/11 once when it came around, and I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, yeah, I was in 2nd grade," and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I was in high school."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ew." Like,
That's
I
not
don't
a couple years, Lauren.
okay, 7 years. And I was like, because I didn't see it, like, that big of a difference when we worked together, but
Yeah,
then when we
yeah.
talk about it in those terms, I was
Yep.
like, "Ew."
That's how I feel when I'm talking to my coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so obviously we know where part of this goes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ugh, okay,
So
Mackenzie, ugh.
I'm going to just run back through the gist,
Okay.
because I was watching a video of this story, and obviously this story connects to the disappearance.
I figured when you mentioned this story, this
Sure.
date, yes.
But I knew that it happened in the morning, but when you look at the times, and by the time, like, the last tower fell and, like, then that was it, it was quite literally 2 hours
Wow.
that all of that happened,
Yeah.
which we're gonna get into. So on this tragic morning, 4 commercial airplanes had been hijacked. American Airlines Flight 11, United Airlines Flight 175, American Airlines Flight 77, and United Airlines Flight 93. One of those left Dulles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of them was I don't remember which one. I think it might have been that one.
Ew.
Yeah, I think it might have been that one, but I'm not sure.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. There were a total of 19 hijackers between the 4 planes. At 8:46 a.m., Flight 11 crashes into the North Tower of the World Trade Center between floors 93 and 99. At 9:03 a.m., Flight 175 crashes into the South Tower between floors 77 and 85. At this moment, it becomes clear that the U.S. is under a coordinated attack. At 9:37 a.m., Flight 77 crashes into the western side of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. That's weird because it's so close.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's so close.
Yeah, I mean, even for me, it's close.
When I was younger, though, not knowing what a Pentagon was, just thought it was the name of the building.
Oh.
I didn't, because like, there's so many more pictures of, like, the towers and, like, flying into that.
Yeah.
I couldn't comprehend how they would crash into something that's so low.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
It wasn't until I was, like, obviously, as I got older and I understood things better, I got it. You don't need to be in a high building for a plane to crash into you.
Right.
But like, I just didn't understand.
No, yeah, I totally get
Because I
it.
was like, no, it needs to be taller.
Yeah, because like, when you
So,
see the Twin Towers.
right, exactly. Like but yeah. At 9:28 a.m., Flight 93 is hijacked. Passengers learn of the earlier attacks via phone calls.
Ugh.
Because obviously air travel completely changed.
Right.
And there was a lot more freedoms,
Mhm.
obviously, before this.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't imagine getting that phone call.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's so they know about the earlier attacks. At 9:57 a.m., passengers attempt to retake control of the plane, and at 10:03 a.m., Flight 93 crashes into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The crash site is now the Flight 93 National Memorial. At 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapses 56 minutes after impact, which was the second tower technically that was hit. But
Mm.
I think because it was lower, it fell faster.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower collapses 102 minutes after impact. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Not that we knew of that at
Right.
the time, but that's it.
Yeah.
2 hours. All
That's
that
insane.
happened. All that like, just crazy.
Like, our nation literally changed.
Yes. The world changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were 2,753 people killed at the World Trade Center site. Oh, wait, no. I skipped a line. Sorry. Total of 2,977 victims killed, not including
Jeez.
the hijackers, because we don't care
Well,
about
they
them.
don't yeah, they don't matter.
There were 2,753 people killed at the World Trade Center site, 184 at the Pentagon, and 40 aboard Flight 93. Deaths among first responders were 343 firefighters of the FDNY, 23 NYPD officers, 37 Port Authority officers, and many more later dying from 9/11 related illnesses.
Mhm.
And about 18,000 plus people were injured.
Jeez.
As we know, many victims were never recovered among the rubble of the attacks, and many families were not able to bury their loved ones. This was no different for the family of 32-year-old Dr. Sneha Anne Philip. Except no one was able to confirm for certain that Sneha was actually killed during the 9/11 attacks. What we do know is that she was last seen on CCTV footage shopping at a department store around 7 p.m. on September 10th.
Okay. In New York?
Yeah. Sneha Anne Philip was born on October 7th, 1969, in the Indian state of Kerala and was one of 3 children. When she was still a child, her family moved to the United States and settled in upstate New York. Sneha was known by her friends and family for her love of arts. There had even been a point in her life where she had considered pursuing a career in painting, but decided to get her medical degree instead. Sneha was a brilliant student and wanted to be able to help people. She graduated from Johns Hopkins University in
Wow.
1991 and attended the Chicago School of Medicine in 1995.
So she's, like, smart.
Yes. It was here that she met her future husband, Ron Lieberman, who was a year behind her and from Los Angeles. Yes, he is Jewish. The two shared a love for art and music in addition to their shared career paths. I think he played the guitar, she painted,
Oh, that's
that
kinda
kind of thing.
cute.
Yeah. Sneha decided to take a year off and traveled around Italy so that she and Ron could graduate at the same time.
Wow!
I know, right?
I wanna travel around Italy.
So I can graduate at the same time.
Yeah.
The couple moved to New York City, where they both attained internships at nearby hospitals and medical centers. At the time, they were living in a small apartment in the East Village. In May 2000, the couple were married at a small ceremony in Sneha's hometown of New York, not India.
Okay.
I realized that I probably should specify, but they combined Jewish and St. Thomas Syrian Christian elements.
Okay.
So Ron gave his wife a menu, which is a traditional Malayali Syrian Christian wedding pendant shaped like a teardrop with a diamond cross set in it.
Wow.
It would be this necklace that her family was hopeful would be recovered in the search for their daughter.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The couple decided to move to a larger apartment in Battery Park City, which was only a few blocks from the World Trade Center.
Mm.
The year 2000 was difficult for Sneha in more ways than one. In the earlier part of the year, Cabrini Medical Center had declined to renew Sneha's contract, citing repeated tardiness and alcohol-related issues.
Oh.
Because life wanted to kick her while she was down, Sneha decided to go out to a bar with some former Cabrini coworkers. This would lead to her spending a night in jail because, according to the reports, Sneha had complained to police that a fellow intern groped her during that time.
Mm.
However, the prosecutor who investigated the case dropped the sexual abuse charge and instead charged Sneha with, quote, third-degree falsely reporting an incident.
Oh my gosh.
He offered to drop the charge if she recanted her original complaint, but she refused and was held overnight pending release.
Joe and I have been watching Law and Order SVU
Yeah.
because my mom and him both wanted to start it. So we started from season 19 because that's the only season that was on one of the streaming services or whatever. We've been watching a lot of it.
You can't get into my Hulu, can you? Okay, because
Joe realized that we do have Hulu through him having the ESPN Hulu Disney thing.
oh yeah,
So we signed up for all of that because we can't get it. Like yours will sometimes work and then sometimes doesn't.
weird. My HBO Max kicked me out. I'm pissed.
Oh no. It kicked us out too.
Yeah. In my own home.
In my own dojo.
Sneha got another internship in internal medicine at St. Vincent's Medical Center on Staten Island. That must have been a freaking commute.
Yeah.
I don't know much about New York travel, but I know that Manhattan and Staten Island are not necessarily close to each other.
Mm-mm.
So that's crazy.
Ugh.
But was running into similar problems there. She had already been suspended for missing a meeting with a substance abuse counselor.
Mm.
Sneha was last seen on September 10th, 2001, a day she was off from work. According to John Lieberman, she had planned to spend the day cleaning their apartment in preparation for a dinner visit from her cousin 2 nights later. That afternoon, Sneha had a 2-hour online chat with her mother. During that conversation, she mentioned that she planned to visit the Windows on the World, the restaurant located at the top of the North Tower of the World Trade Center,
Oh.
where a friend was scheduled to be married the following spring.
Ugh.
When I heard that, I was like, now what?
Right.
Like, just
Ugh.
crazy. At 4 p.m., Sneha signed off and left the apartment. She first dropped off clothes at a neighborhood dry
Is this the
cleaner.
day before or the day of?
This is September 10th. So, yeah, the
Right.
day
Okay.
before. She first dropped off clothes at a neighborhood dry cleaner. She then went to Century 21, not the money exchange place, where she used the couple's American Express card to purchase lingerie, a dress, pantyhose, and bed linens.
Okay.
Afterwards, she bought 3 pairs of shoes at an annex to the store. A security camera at Century 21 recorded her during this shopping trip, and the surveillance footage and credit card transactions are the last confirmed records of Sneha's whereabouts. Sneha's, not Shanae, sorry. Lieberman returned to their apartment shortly after midnight and noticed that Sneha was not home. He believed she had stayed out late or overnight, as she had been doing recently, and planned to remind her to call him in those situations. She typically did,
Mm-hmm.
and would leave a message or whatever.
Right.
She would typically let him know if she was staying out.
Right.
So this was the first time that she didn't, but he didn't think too much of it because she's been staying out.
Right.
He went to bed because he needed to wake up early for work. Later, investigation revealed that someone had called Lieberman's cell phone from the apartment at approximately 4 a.m. He does not remember the call, but believes he may have briefly woken to check his voicemail. When he got up for work at 6:30 a.m., Sneha had still not returned.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that part I don't fully understand, and it's never really explained.
Yeah.
Lieberman was still not able to get a hold of his wife, so he goes to work, can't reach her,
Oh, that's
has
scary.
called mom, brother, whatever, haven't seen her.
And this is all before everything went down?
Yeah. So he's stressed,
Yeah.
naturally. But like everyone else on that day, he began seeing news reports of the planes flying into the Twin Towers. Growing increasingly nervous, Lieberman decided to leave work and go back to the apartment and see if his wife had returned. Obviously, he called. She didn't answer, but
Right.
that doesn't mean she's not there. Lieberman was able to get a ride with an ambulance to Ground Zero, since he was so close to
Oh, wow.
where it happened. But it took 6 hours to get through all the traffic and chaos.
Wow.
While he was able to get through security using his medical credentials, police were blocking off the area to his apartment, and he had to stay with a friend that night.
Mm-hmm.
Once Lieberman returned the next day, he noticed a window had been left open. He left it open. That wasn't abnormal, but dust from the collapsed towers had settled throughout the space, and there were visible tracks in the dust, but from the couple's 2 kittens, but none from any human.
Okay.
So it does not seem she wasn't home at 6:30.
And it doesn't seem like she ever came home.
Correct. Sneha was among the thousands, 9,000 to be exact, of people reported missing after September 11th. Like many other families, hers posted flyers throughout the city in an effort to find her. Sneha's case was the only missing person report not definitively connected to the attacks. It was Sneha's husband that pursued the search on his own, since he had not heard anything from police. He was able to get the American Express credit card purchases and determine the time of the last purchase made. When Lieberman went to Century 21, he was able to look at the security footage and see his wife was shopping in the store alone. I guess someone had said that they saw her with someone, but that's not true.
Right.
Eventually, Lieberman decided to hire a private investigator. By this point, police believed/assumed that she had died in the attacks. Which, normally I'm all on, police should do better, but they deserve a break during this time.
Right. I mean, I would have, that's kind of what you would assume if someone goes missing in New York on September 11th.
Right. They did get to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't right away.
Right.
Which,
in this case, then yeah.
Right, like, typically, we look at it and it's like, "Oh, they had no interest, whatever," and you're like, "That's wrong," but it's also like, "But this was different." I don't feel like we can I mean, we
This
weren't
was
there.
very different.
Right, we weren't there, we don't know, but I feel like it's wrong to say they were uninterested or unattentive.
I
There was
mean,
other
it
shit
was
going on.
the biggest terrorist attack in the United States up to that
Right,
point, yeah.
like, they were focused on search and rescue for a while before it became search and recover.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
have you ever heard the story of how the search dogs, they started to have to, like, put, like, bodies that were already found because the dogs were getting sad they couldn't find anybody? I don't know if it's true, but it's gets
Oh,
passed around on the internet.
that's so
Yeah.
sad.
Private investigator Ken Gallant found two pieces of evidence suggesting that she may have returned to the apartment building on the early morning of September 11th. The first was the early morning call from the apartment's home phone to Liberman's cell phone. The second was security camera footage from the lobby of their building. So, like, I think what they had said was that,
So can you explain the call thing a little bit more?
yeah, so, like, the only person that would have been able to, I don't know if it's necessarily call from their house phone, but it was something where, like, only she would have been able to do that.
Okay.
It's unclear if the call came from inside the house. Like, how,
Okay.
like, you used to be able to, like, check your voicemail even not on your phone?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. That's kind of what it sounded like to me, but I don't really know for
Okay.
sure. But, like, it kinda sounded something like that, like, she was able to, I don't know, get through? I'm not sure.
Okay.
So, but there was some sort of call at 4 in the morning, and apparently records show that it came from their home phone.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. The second was security camera footage from the lobby of their building, time stamped at 8:43 a.m., just 3 minutes before American Airlines Flight 11 struck the North Tower. The footage shows a woman entering the building, waiting near the elevator, and leaving a few minutes after. The timing also falls within the 7 to 9 a.m. window, during which Sneha typically returns home after nights out. Because of poor contrast caused by sunlight streaming into the lobby, the woman was visible only in silhouette. However, her hair and dress appeared consistent with what Sneha was wearing in the 21st century. Nope. In the Century 21 surveillance footage from the previous evening. Sneha's family had stated that the woman's posture and mannerisms resembled hers, but the woman was not carrying any shopping bags,
Mhm.
despite Sneha's purchases the day before, and she appears to be alone. Lieberman was unable to positively identify the woman as his wife, though one NYPD investigator did believe it was likely her.
Interesting.
Gallant initially considered the possibility that Sneha may have used the chaos of the attacks to leave her life behind and start over under a new identity, given the personal difficulties she had been experiencing. However, a review of her computer's hard drive revealed no evidence of plans, research, or contact that would suggest she intended to disappear. She had also left behind her glasses, passport, driver's license, and credit cards, except for the American Express card she had used the night before.
And it's also like, no one knew the attack was gonna happen.
Right,
So
that
it's
too.
like you couldn't plan like, "Oh, tomorrow something's gonna happen and I can get out."
Right, exactly.
Or unless it was one of those things where she's like, "Well, man, now's my opportunity, like, it's now or never."
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe.
Which would make sense for why she left everything at home.
Yeah, but to take one credit card and it's technically your husband's out of all credit cards to take?
But I mean, like, if you don't know, like, you're just going about your normal life and then something happens and you're like, "I have to go now." And, like, this is what I have with me now, I have to go now.
So I do think that's kind of partially true, but not to start a new life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's a different idea of
Oh,
like,
I'm just playing devil's advocate for these theories.
oh, no, you're totally fine. But like, there's also, you'll see there's like this thought that she did have that, but not in the sense of I'm going to run away,
Mhm.
of like, I have to go now because something bad is happening outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So some people have theorized like if it is her, maybe she left her shopping bags on the train.
Mhm.
Maybe wherever she stayed out that night, she left them there.
Oh, that would be a good point, yeah.
So we'll get into it. Liberman kept the account open in case any activity might generate a lead, but it was never used again. Gallant and Liberman eventually concluded that Sneha may have witnessed the attack and, as a physician, gone to the World Trade Center site to assist victims. They
Mm,
believe she likely perished either inside one of the towers or in the subsequent collapse because they're right there. And she was,
yeah.
if it is her, she was by the elevator for just a few moments
Mhm.
and then left.
Right.
Like she didn't go into the elevator, she didn't go up to the apartment, nothing like that. And kind of like you were saying, like if something happened and she's mere blocks
Right.
from the World Trade Center, I
And
could,
if your whole job has been focused on saving people.
right, exactly. And it seems like she would be the type of person too to do
Right.
that. So that's what the family's theory
Mhm.
is that that's probably the most likely scenario.
Okay.
Okay. The NYPD was not able to begin investigating the Sneha case for some time after the attacks. When they did, they found many details about Sneha's life prior to September 11th that suggested she may have been elsewhere or already dead when the towers fell, including losing her job, possible alcohol issues, and a criminal record for the false complaint.
Okay, yeah, real criminal record.
Right. The not false complaint.
Right.
This is what the police determined. After her dismissal from Cabrini, Sneha began spending nights out at gay and lesbian bars in the city.
Of course, you gotta throw that element in there.
Sure, some known for their rough clientele.
Naturally,
They
naturally.
gotta be rough.
Mhm.
According to police, she would sometimes leave with women she met at these bars. Police also stated that one of Sneha's brothers discovered her with his then girlfriend having sex.
LOL.
On the morning of September 10th, Sneha had been formally arraigned on the criminal charge and pleaded not guilty. The police report says she and Lieberman fought loudly at the courthouse afterwards about her problems and nights out, which ended with her walking away and leaving him to go home alone and get ready for work. After reviewing it, the city medical examiner removed Sneha from the official list of victims in January of 2004, one of the last 3. So I think 3 people have been removed from the list, and she was one of them.
Mm.
Sneha's family responded in attempts to set the record straight. Sneha's husband, brother, and family dispute much of the NYPD's interpretations of the evidence. They claim Sneha was fired from Cabrini not because of alcoholism, but because she had been a whistleblower who had complained about racial and sexual bias. The hospital
Ooh,
later told a reporter that there had been no evidence that she had any formal complaints by her. And I'm like,
men don't like that.
not only that, but I was like, that's what a whistleblower is.
Right.
There wouldn't be. That's the whole point. They're not reporting it because they can't. Anyway, Lieberman says that while his wife frequented lesbian bars, it was because she did not want a repeat of the situation that had happened with her coworker. Trauma.
Mm.
She knows, from what it sounds like, if what they're saying is true, she went to these places because it was a safe space.
Okay. I mean, I can see that.
Supposedly, she never had sex with the women she went home with, he claims, and they would often merely listen to music, sleep, or paint. One time, in fact, she came home covered with paint after going home with an artist. Sneha's drinking was a temporary phase to ease her through the depression she was experiencing after being fired by Cabrini, and would stop once her life got back to normal, as he believed it was doing. Sneha's brother says the report of him catching her with his girlfriend is completely fabricated and that he never spoke with the detective who wrote it.
Okay.
Similarly, Lieberman says that the couple never fought at the courthouse after her arraignment, and they believe that the police were drawing conclusions from minimal evidence to make up for their early lack of attention to the case. Which, okay, there was a lot going on. But I do agree that, like, this seems like a stretch.
Mhm.
Like, they're making a lot of assumptions.
Right.
And I know you go based on evidence, but if you have people that can interpret it differently, you can't then say that that's solid evidence.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then it's not solid.
Right. Reasonable doubt. After the first shock of Sneha's disappearance, her family ended up in a second fight they never asked for, a legal one, over what the system would officially call her. For a time, Sneha was treated as a September 11th victim until the
Okay.
city's medical examiner pulled her name from the official list in January 2004, saying there was no proof that she was alive on 9/11. That single administrative decision had a ripple effect.
So they're saying, like, they think she died on September 10th?
There's not enough evidence to say one way or another.
Okay.
So, because you can't say she was born on 9/11, we can't say she
Died.
or I'm sorry, died on 9/11, we can't say that she died.
Okay.
Without a 9/11 death certificate, her husband Ron Limberman's claim to the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund was denied, which meant the
Oh.
family was fighting for recognition and for the legal paperwork that unlocks benefits, a state resolution, and the right date and manner of death. What followed was years of court hearings built around a uncomfortable truth. Sneha's case didn't come with the kind of evidence the law usually wants. No remains, no confirmed sighting at the World Trade Center, no final phone call from the towers. Under
Mhm.
New York's presumption of death law, an unexplained absence generally triggers a presumption of death 3 years later, unless clear and convincing evidence supports an earlier date, or unless the person was exposed to a specific peril of death. In other words, Sneha's family wasn't just asking the judge to believe she died on 9/11. They had to meet a legal standard that is intentionally hard.
Mm.
In the lower court, that burden wasn't met. A judge set Sneha's official date of death as September 10th, 2004, 3 years after she vanished,
Okay, yeah.
essentially treating the case like a traditional missing person matter rather than a 9/11 fatality. The family appealed anyway, and in January 2008, the New York's appellate division reversed the surrogate court's decree and granted what the family had been fighting for, a judicial declaration that Sneha Anne Philip's death occurred on September 11th, 2001 at the World Trade Center. They don't get any of the funds, by the way.
Why?
I think like either it ran out and or they stopped at like in a certain time that was before 2008. Somewhere between 2003 and 2008,
Okay.
something like that. So, because I had seen like, some people were trying to say that they were doing it for like money and things like that,
Right.
but they didn't get money
Right.
because they weren't
And I
paying
feel like
people.
too, it's like you want to kind of have like the closure,
Right. Like
you
they were
know?
more concerned about the way that her death was listed. That's what
Yeah.
they were fighting for.
Right.
The appellate judges acknowledged the core problem. There was no direct proof placing her at the site, but they found the circumstantial evidence strong enough to satisfy the specific peril framework. Or pearl.
Peril, I think.
Peril?
Peril.
Yeah.
Peril.
Okay. She lived steps from the towers. Her pattern suggested she'd likely be moving through the area that morning, and as a physician, she plausibly could have run toward the disaster instead of away from it.
I mean, all of that sounds
There
legit.
was a ton of people who did that.
Yeah, there were.
The court also noted something that the family had been arguing for years, that alternative explanations had become more speculative with time. While repeated investigations had produced no solid evidence that she started a new life or died anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it is more so looking like the family was right and less so like the other stuff.
Okay.
The family's fight wasn't only about money. And it wasn't only about a line on a list. It was about whether Sneha would be remembered as someone who simply vanished, a question mark
Oh.
with rumors attached, or as someone the law could finally name as a victim of that morning.
Okay.
The 2008 ruling didn't solve the mystery of her last hours, but it did something courts rarely do in disappearance cases. It gave the family an official narrative with the weight of legal fighting behind it. In the end, their battle shows how grief can turn into paperwork and how sometimes the last thing a family can do is keep showing up, year after year, until the system is forced to decide what it believes happened to the person that they're still missing.
Ugh.
In conclusion,
That one is sad.
I miss recording with Lauren, and even though I'm writing this beforehand, I know we had a great time.
We did.
Happy birthday, and me and the few hundreds of people that listen to us all hope you have the most wonderful day.
Oh, thank you.
And that is all the things for Lauren.
Ugh, all the things that I just love.
Yes.
Last one was freaking sad,
I know. I'm sorry.
but at least it did end on like a happy note.
Yeah, like
You
that's what I
know?
was saying. Like in the end, the family was able to kind of get that
Yeah.
justification. So while technically they're never going to know for sure,
Yeah.
like you said, I feel like it gives them.
A little bit of closure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this was a great episode. Thank you.
You're so well.
And it was so fun coming into it, like literally not knowing what you were covering at all.
Yeah, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that great?
I liked it.
And this will definitely be, well, probably won't be super long because there's some pauses that I'll take out.
Oh, yeah. There's quite a few pauses.
But the first half was 35 minutes and this is 46 minutes.
Wow, look at us.
So the people are getting back a longer
A
episode.
long episode.
Because typically they're just like 30 minutes.
It's been fun.
So this has just been I think this is a special treat for everybody.
Yeah, really is.
And we actually already did your birthday in this like 4th round,
Mhm.
but because of like timing and we're
Yeah.
not done with the states, so it's like coming through again, which I think also
Oh.
happens with the
Anniversary.
no. Sometimes it happens with October. Like
Mm.
there'll be 2 sets of spooky specials.
Oh.
So for this one to like label it, Lauren's birthday 4.2.
Yep.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, now I have someone to say it with me because I've been just saying it all by
Oh,
myself.
you do have someone to say it with you.
Yeah. So follow us on all the things and
Stay scary.
stay safe.